welcome to another Baby Theater. Today, we're going to talk about Rumpelstiltskin. You see, Rumpelstiltskin was kind of the homeless guy, really. And he just basically didn't really, lost a bunch of money gambling, and then he got really wrapped up in some crazy stocks. Then he bought a couple houses, and what ended up happening was the whole stock market thing, or the whole housing industry crash happened. And he lost all that, and he just was like, I'm gonna live in a cave now, down by the river, And so, in this cave, the only thing he kept from his whole empire is he kind of got scammed. He thought that spinning silk would come back into style or something, and so he ended up getting one of those spindlers, and he was like spinning it, and he got some silk. Then he was like, what if I use cat hair? Because he had a lot of cats around. There's a lot of stray cats. They always flock to him, and so he was like, all right, I'll get these cats, and I'll take their hair and I'll spin it through the spindler. Lo and behold, one cat in particular, and he spun it, and he spun gold, golden silk, and he was like all about it, and he was like, oh man, I'm gonna do some awesome stuff with this gold silk, but like nobody really wanted it. So smelled bad, seemed like it was like cat scratch fever would occur, stuff like that. And so he got pretty mad, and he went to Target, and he was like, I need to sell my string here. And they were like, sell your string, dude, get out of here. And he said, he went up to check on line 3, and he was like, it's time to curse ya, because you won't buy my silk. And they were like, wait, is it string or silk? Which one? And he's like, golden string. And they're like, okay. And so he said, I'm going to curse ya. And he says, the only way to get out of it if you guess my name. And his name was Rumpelstiltskin. And, they were like, I think I've heard this rhyme before. This old children's story tale. Is your name Rumpelstiltskin? And they're like, and he's like, dang it. They got me. So he went to the government office. He was talking to the government. He was like, hey, I need to change my name. And they're like, okay, well, what do you want it to be? And he's like, well, do you have like an auto generator? And they were like, auto generator? What do you mean? And he was like an auto generator that generates my name. I want a different name, so maybe I can, auto generate another one. Can you make it really hard to guess? Like 20 characters with at least one letter, one number, and one capital letter and one symbol. And they were like, what? He's like, yeah. I've heard of him before. And they're like, are you talking about a password generator? And he's like, oh, password generator. Yeah, that's what I want. And so they went on to Google's, and they went on to the Google, the internets, and they put in, they said, generate me a password. And it was like 1XBYJKLMNOP Z 1 exclamation mark question mark 5382 D 28 with a question mark and 3 stars. And then there was like another symbol, the squiggly lines, tiddly, tilde. Yeah, that's it, tilde. And he went to tilde, and then the tilde, he said, yeah, now they'll never guess my name. Now they'll never get out of my curse, right? There you go. They'll never get out of my curse. And he said, yeah, I mean the tilde, they'll never guess the tilde. And then he went there to that Target. He was like, okay, Target, now it's your chance. The checkout person's like, hey, I heard it's a different checkout person this time. So I heard that Joey guessed your name already, Rumpelstiltskin, right? And he said, ha, that's where you're wrong. I'm cursing you again, but you got to guess my new name. And he's like, oh gosh, this is gonna be a real tough one. How about? And he goes word for word. He says, 82, blah blah blah. You know, all the different DOM. You know, he says every single. And he's like, I don't know, maybe tilde. And he's like, how did you guess my name? He's like, a real common name, man. Like, duh. Like, really common name. Like, especially that tilde. Everybody uses it, you know. That tilde is everything. And so he was like, oh. So the tilde is everything, right? And that's so common. That's so common. He's like, why wouldn't you come up with a more difficult name? And he said the whole thing again. He was like, immediately. And he's like, how about tilde? And he's like, you know, why don't I just call you Tilde for short? Because everybody has Tilde. Come on, it's goofy. This guy over here, Tilde. And so Tilde, he was pretty mad. So went to the government. And he was like, give me a refund, you know, because like that was really all the money he had. He sold a little bit of silk. And it was before he got the Goldensilk, so it was like real, you know. He got like, I'll give you 2 pennies and a button, you know, like not a good deal. And the government was like, no, I mean, you're the one that had us generate it, you know. Maybe if you generated it yourself, maybe it'd be harder to figure out, right? And so he was like, okay, well, I guess can I just get a exchange for a new name? And they're like, we don't usually do this, but you know, since you're being so difficult, you know, and you had a bad experience, you know, we'll give you a redo, you know. So he says, okay, well, all right. And then so he said, okay, let's see. He said, okay, how about Goldensilk22? Question mark. And they're okay, got it. Goldensilk22 question mark. And then, all right. And they said, oh wait, string. And they said, too late. It's already in the system. God dang. He's like, dang. You know. And well, it still changed. So he's gonna go back to Target. And I said, yo, man, like, the next cashier said, Joey and Christine, both of them, they guess your name's easy, you know? Like, now it's just time to give it up, you know, stop trying to curse us. And so Golden String 22 question mark, previously known as Tilde, said, no, you know what? You gotta guess my name or I curse you. Ha 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 ha. And then he was like, well, Golden String 22 question mark. And he goes, his eyes went wide. He said, wrong! It's Golden Silk 22 question mark. And the Target employee was like, oh, okay. Golden Silk 22 question mark? Ah. So old Goldie was like, nah, why did I do that to myself? And then he knew the government wasn't going to give him another name or anything. You know, he's like, oh man, what the heck? Why do I keep doing this to myself? And he's like, man, it's a Target full of good guessers, right? And then he went and he took a pack of gum and put it in his pocket, and he left without paying for it. And they didn't even know. They didn't even find out that he took the gum. So, moral of the story is, you know, even though you try to curse everybody and maybe you have some golden silk, you know, sometimes it's just life works out for you, you know. I mean, you know, good breath, it's like half the problem, you know. The other half is everything else. Like finding a house and finding a place to live and, you know, paying off some of his debt somehow. You know, like maybe getting a job or having any friends or, you know, but that's just 50%. That's just 50% of the problem. But yeah, so that's the story of Golden Silk 22 question mark.